Oh, hi there. My name's Alex and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you how to improve the sound of your voice. When I first started this channel on personal growth, philosophy and consciousness, I noticed that how I spoke was quite sloppy and unclear. Like most people, I didn't like the sound of my voice, and I'm still not a massive fan of it, to be honest. Mainly because I can't sing. But a little side note, which is slightly amusing to me. I have this mix of southern British accents, and I know that to some people from some countries, that kind of accent can have like this degree of sophistication to it. But anyone from southern England can certainly tell that my accent is miles away from received pronunciation, and that I've actually got a bit of an urban twang. Well, those from where I used to live would say I've got a country twang now, as I've been in Bristol all these years, mind. Nevertheless, when I first heard myself in video, I wanted to not change my accent or hide my roots or, sound posh or anything, but just to sound a bit smoother and clearer and less sloppy so an international audience could easily understand me. And I learned a few things along the way about how to improve the sound of one's voice, which I'm going to show you now. So this video is for anyone who wants to have a generally more pleasing sound to their voice, speak with more clarity, depth, resonance and assurance. There's two main concepts that really helped me, and these are resonance and enunciation. Resonance refers to how the vibrations of air of your voice resonate in the cavities of your body, because we have our chest cavity and the cavities in our throat and mouth and our nasal cavities, etc. And we direct the air vibrations to the different parts of these cavities to different extents, which affects the timbre of our voice and how it sounds to other people. Enunciation refers to how clearly we're speaking, which covers a few things, but in this context, I'm mainly looking at the consonant sounds. And this is what I practiced in improving to sound less sloppy and speak with more clarity. And there's a few things that can help with both resonance and enunciation, which I'll go into now. First, and possibly the most important thing in improving the sound of our voice, is to relax. Yes, learning to speak whilst staying relaxed. When I first started my channel, I wasn't used to being on camera, and I found the learning process quite stressful, and this led me to tense up, and it made it harder to speak clearly and with good resonance anyway. So many of us are walking around all day with all this tension locked up all over the body, and if we're all tensed up, it restricts our breathing and the shape of our vocal cavities. And due to this tension and learned habits, many of us have also gotten into the habit of breathing from the chest as opposed to breathing from the diaphragm. And we need to retrain ourselves, not only to relax, but to breathe from the diaphragm. And when speaking, push the air predominantly from there. So to check for this, you can put one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. Take a breath. And if your chest rises and not your belly, you know you're breathing too much from your chest, and you need to build the habit of breathing more from your diaphragm, relaxing and allowing the belly to rise, expand and push from the diaphragm. Both this relaxation and diaphragm breathing will help us to have that deeper, more assured voice. And yes, I'm aware I don't have the deepest voice in the world, but it's certainly naturally lowered as I've relaxed, and this is something that will help accelerate that. You can practice low humming or chanting, as low as you can reasonably go, like Obviously I'm breaking up a little bit because that's quite low for me. And as you're humming, you can pay attention to where the tension is in your body and command those parts to release, and practice this a few times a day. Now, we all know what a nasally sounding voice is, but did you know there's actually two types? Hyponasal and hypernasal. Hypernasal is where you get increased airflow through the nose during speech and you get that stereotypically nasally sound. Hyponasal is actually technically the opposite of a nasal voice. It's when you have a blocked nose or you're speaking with decreased airflow through the nose. It's denasaled. To change a hypernasal voice, you can do this. To check if you even have one, firstly, you make a ah sound and then hold your nose at the same time. Ah, and if, say, I make a really nasally sound, ah, then I let go. Ah, you can hear the sound is changing a lot. Now, if I do the same thing again, ah, the sound is changing less. And if you find you've got that really nasally sound going on, you can practice having the sound change less as you make that ah sound, add pitch and let go of your nose. But to add to having that nice resonance, we do need some usage of the nasal cavity when producing the vocal sounds. It's called resonating in the mask. It's not going to make your voice sound hypernasally, so don't worry. This is what many vocal coaches teach their students to practice to get that nice mask resonance. So you make like an M sound, like and as you make that sound, you can probably feel some vibrations in your nostrils and around the nose and sometimes even in the face and in the lips. And you can practice just for a bit to practice feeling that and accentuating that a little bit. Feeling that buzz in the face. And then you can move on to making a vowel sound afterwards, like ma, ma. And what you want to practice is to create that vowel sound, but kind of continue some of the buzzing, continue that up and out kind of sensation. So not doing it would be ma, ma. And incorporating more of that mask resonance would sound like this. Ma, ma. So those are the main things that will help with resonance and will help to improve the sound of your voice. But there's also enunciation and specifically how clearly you're producing those consonant sounds. And there's something you can practice to help with this, which many public speakers have done in the past to aid with developing that clearer voice. And that's to practice speaking or reading aloud with a pen in your mouth. And this is going to make your mouth temporarily work harder to produce the shapes responsible for producing those consonant sounds and start creating more of a mind-muscle connection between your brain and those mouth muscles. And you'll hear the most effect from this immediately as you take the pen out. And I actually used to do that for a bit immediately before pressing record on the camera to help with that clarity coming out on video. And something else that will help improve the sound of your voice, that's singing. Yes, even if you're not a singer, which I'm certainly not, just singing. Now, I can understand you might not want to go around singing to yourself all the time like I do, but whilst in private, having a little sing-song and actually trying to sing a little better will also feed in to how your voice generally sounds, strengthening that muscle connection, and improving the sound of your voice. I'm kind of lucky in this area as I'm required to drive a lot at the moment, so I have plenty of time on my own in the car to sing my heart out and practice enunciating consonants and deep humming and chanting and generally just being ridiculous to make the whole process self-entertaining. But one last thing, and I know this video is about improving the sound of your voice, but please don't hate your voice. If you want to use the techniques in this video, by all means do so. But you probably are just fine the way you are. We all need to learn to love and accept ourselves whilst recognizing we can improve and change things for the better, like our voice. It sounds bloody cheesy, I know, but that's what we're all about on this channel. Conscious personal growth, not to chase happiness as some goal in the future, but to grow and achieve because it's fun to do so whilst we remember who we are on the deeper levels. So if you were just here for the voice stuff, but you like the sound of that, hit the subscribe and the notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new videos helping you with conscious personal growth. Peace.